Israel's bombardment of Gaza is continuing even as the holy month of Ramadan looms. Ceasefire talks have reached a stalemate. For more on this, we cross live to SABC News correspondent Alex Cadier in Jerusalem. Thank you very much for joining us, Alex. So how's the mood in Jerusalem ahead of Ramadan?
Well, there's certainly a sense of anticipation here in Jerusalem. There is some level of tension in the air. We spoke to a few locals just yesterday saying, let's wait and see. But in the run-up to Ramadan, which we expect will start on Sunday, there is certainly an expectation that things could flare up quite seriously in this city. We've seen the National Security Minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir, suggesting that access to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, that building behind me, should be limited, if not restricted, for worshippers wanting to go there, that third holiest site for Muslims. And that was really could have sparked tension. That was the warning from the security agencies, the police here and the Israeli military. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opting to say that Israel will maintain the freedom of worship, will allow as many worshippers to go to the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound this year as they have in previous years, really wanting to avoid a flashpoint here in Jerusalem.
Status of the ceasefire talks.
Well, the ceasefire talks ongoing, we understand, and all but stalled is what other officials are saying. The United States saying that it is still possible to get a deal, but there is still no deal to be had yet. We know that Hamas and Israel have been trading blame as to who is to blame for stalling these negotiations. The United States splitting the difference, saying it is now on Hamas to accept the rational proposals, as the US administration called it, that Israel has put forward. Those talks will continue through mediators, Egypt, Qatar, the United States, saying that it is imperative that a deal is to be reached, particularly with the worsening and already catastrophic humanitarian situation in Gaza, and with that looming deadline of the 10th of March, just 3 days away now.
Yeah, so you've touched on that humanitarian situation, which is dreadful. We've heard that basically most Palestinians in Gaza are living in famine conditions. And the South African Minister of International Relations has called on the likes of the United States to use their military might to actually ensure that aid gets in. I mean, what's been the reaction around that, and is there any movement on that?
Well, there's been two reactions from the United States in particular. They have been joining other countries in airdropping supply, tens of thousands of meals being airdropped into Gaza, but that is both an inefficient and insufficient way of delivering aid to Gaza. You can probably fit about 2 trucks worth of supplies in one plane. Gaza needs 500 trucks of aid a day just to maintain itself, and that is one of the issues being faced in what has been described as a catastrophic situation on the ground in Gaza. The WHO talking about children dying of dehydration and malnutrition, and that the population of Gaza is at risk of reaching a full famine in a matter of days, if not weeks. And that is the severity, that is the difficulties, and that's also why you're seeing increased international pressure from the United States, the United Kingdom and others on Israel to ensure that unfettered access to aid, it will now be allowed into Gaza. That is one of the big pressures. Still some resistance from the Israeli government, but that international pressure is certainly mounting.
Alex, thank you so much for your contributions there.